Millie and Clarence Cooper had been married for 50 years. They had learned how to do a lot of things in their lifetime, but listening was not one of them.
Must be going somewhere, eh?
I'm going out for a bit, Clarence. I've got soup on the stove for supper. Make sure it doesn't boil over. And I've got buns in the oven. Make sure they don't burn. I hate burnt soup. My hair is such a mess. I've got to get it done.
Did someone say something? Oh, it must have been the wind. Or what's her face? Can't understand why I can't get a crop out of this stupid ground. Stubborn dirt, that's what it is. Like a rock. I better break it up a bit.
Like my hair? The place was a madhouse today. I almost left, but my hair was a desperate mess. How did the buns turn out, Clarence? Good, I hope. And am I in the mood for some soup?
Soup? Is that what we're having for supper? Millie, some homemade buns would be good with that.
Clarence! Clarence!
Oh, I'm coming.
Look at these buns! And there's soup all over the stove. You didn't hear a word I said, you fool.
Like a rock. You couldn't tell the difference. She used to try a better recipe.
Millie was right. Clarence hadn't heard a word she'd said. He lived in a world all of his own.
Millie? Millie? It smells like something scorched in there. Oh, I hope it's not soup. If there's anything I can't stand, it's burnt soup. I don't know why the woman insisted letting it stick to the bottom of the pan. And those rolls. Where did she ever get a recipe like that? Not fit for man or beast. Hey, maybe they'd make good fertilizer.
It was true Clarence and Millie had been married for 50 years, but they'd stopped listening to each other a long time ago, and that's when their love for each other left. They were like strangers who shared the same house. He was in his world, and she was in hers.
Makes me so mad. I try to make a decent meal while what's-his-name plays over in the sand pile and lets it burn. What's he doing over there anyways? Getting his clothes dirty, that's all. So he'll have more laundry.
After 50 years of living with each other, you'd think Millie and Clarence would have known one another pretty well and have mastered the art of communication. But she didn't know him, and he didn't know her. All 50 years together had done for these two was manage to make them very good at what they were bad at, not listening.
Hello, Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper. Mr. Cooper? Mr. Cooper?
What's all the racket about? Oh, hello there.
My name is Frank Dodds, and I'm from the Winston Tribune. We'd like to do an article on you and Mrs. Cooper for our family section. I understand you've been married for 50 years.
Has it been that long? Why, word. What a sentence. Let me see if what's-her-face is around. Millie? Millie? Millie?
What's all the racket?
This young man,
Frank Dodd's the name, ma'am. Nice to meet you.
he's from the...
Hush, Clarence. Let him tell it.
I'm from the Winston Tribune, and we'd like to do an article on you and Mr. Cooper for our family section. Seeing you've been married 50 years and all.
My stars, it's been that long.
What a sentence.
I'd just like to ask you a few questions. It won't take very long.
Sure, go ahead.
Mr. Cooper, what first attracted you to Mrs. Cooper 50 years ago?
Well, all my life I've wanted to farm, have a good crop. But that's every farmer's dream. Have a buster of a crop. You think I could, though? If it wasn't the dirt, it was the seed, or the weather. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
That's it? Okay. What about you, Mrs. Cooper? What first attracted you to Mr. Cooper?
Who?
Clarence,
Clarence.
your husband?
Oh, yes. Well, I've always wanted a nice home of my own and to have nice things, you know. But fire came through our town and gutted the place. You'd hardly know now, would you?
No. Mr. Cooper, what advice do you have to other married couples and folks just getting married?
Yes.
Good.
Get a cow. All our lives I've said, Millie, we need a cow. But do you think she'd listen? No. Things would have been much different if we had a cow around this place.
What about you, Mrs. Cooper?
I didn't quite hear the question.
Advice to others?
Well, I always say, tiptoe across the kitchen floor when you got bread rising in the oven. Or better yet, stay out of the kitchen altogether.
Well, thank you for your time. I'm not sure what I'll do with this, but it'll be in tomorrow's paper. Bye now.
You through already? Bye, Mr. I forgot his name. Oh, well.
Bye. Oh, I think he likes me. I can't wait to see tomorrow's paper.
Me either.
But tomorrow's paper was going to be a big surprise for Clarence and Millie
The
Cooper.
paper's in.
Oh, wonderful. Hurry, find the family section. Give me it.
Here
I'll
it
read
is.
it. 50th wedding anniversary. Mr. and Mrs. Clarence Cooper. That's us. It says, "It was to my despair that I interviewed Clarence and Millie late yesterday noon." Despair? It must have been a misprint.
Let me see that. Rarely do folks reach a 50th anniversary, and in the case of the Coopers, it only marks another year of life together that can only be described as disgusting. The problem with the Coopers is that they don't listen to each other. They have no respect for what anyone else has to say.
Give me that. I thought I would take this opportunity to make an example out of these two, so that other readers might not get caught in the same pitfall. You do not need to be an old person to listen. You should start to listen from the day you are born. It shows other people that you really care about them. It will make you wise, and people will find you more interesting. Not because you talk all the time, but because you are courteous and listen to them.
Why, never. Let me see it. Even folks who have been together for years, like the Coopers, can grow old not knowing each other because they don't stop and listen. Listening shows that you love and want to help. For those who learn to listen will always have love, and the world will always be an exciting place to live. So be a listener. Frank Dodds. I can't believe it. He didn't print one word we said.
That's because it wasn't worth repeating.
Huh?
Clarence, we've been doing this all wrong. I don't listen to you, and I know you don't listen to me. When's the last time we sat down and had a nice talk?
Well, it was, I can't remember. I wouldn't know what to talk about, Millie.
Me either. You talk, I'll listen. Tell me about yourself, Clarence.
And Clarence and Millie talked and listened and talked. They really enjoyed each other, and for the first time in a long time, there was love in their home.
Eyes are round. Millie, when you listen to me like this, you make me feel that you care about me.
Me too, Clarence. Me too. You're such an interesting person.
So are you, and I can't wait to get to know you.
And just think, we've been married 50 years.
Yeah, best sentence I could ever ask for.